Hello besties, welcome back to my channel and welcome to my TBR Jar chooses my reads episode 6. Now I want to confess something. I have reread Quicksilver and read Brimstone and also started a book and then I wasn't enjoying it, so I stopped. But for Quicksilver and Brimstone, if you follow me on Fable and Goodreads, you already know Quicksilver was even, let's talk about Quicksilver first. Quicksilver was even better on a reread. It was so good. It confirmed that it deserves more than 5 stars. I love that book so much. And Brimstone, I don't know how she topped it, but she did. It is 6 stars. It was phenomenal. It was absolutely amazing, phenomenal. The plot, the romance, the yearning, the spice, everything was so good and I really enjoyed it so much. And like, the plot was so good. I really enjoyed my time with Brimstone so much. I cannot wait for the 3rd book. And I also tried to read, I tried to read this book, Cruel is the Light, because the sequel of the Waterstones edition is already out and I wanted to know if I want to get it or not. Unfortunately, even though I love this cover so much and the book and the edges are absolutely stunning, it pains me to sell it because it's not a read it or unhaul video, but I couldn't get into it. I don't know why. Is it the characters? Is it the world building? I don't know. I don't know if I want to give it another chance. I mean, I stopped reading it yesterday. But like, I have too many books on my TBR, you know? When you are not enjoying a book and you see all these books and you're like, I should read the books that I already own and that I know I will enjoy, or maybe I will enjoy much better. So for me, I mean, yeah, I don't know. I cannot put my finger on it, but I didn't enjoy it. I didn't care about the characters and yeah. I don't know. I'm probably going to sell this and sell my Fairy Loot edition, but I'm happy that I started this book before putting my pre-order. I think I'm going to sell it. Yeah, I have too many books on my TBR already. Okay, let's start with these books because I really need some. I'm feeling a bit slumpy after starting this book, to be honest. Maybe that's the thing. Yes, I wasn't excited about the book and then I was like, I need to pick up another thing, and then I was like, no, I need to film this because I need to choose the books. So yeah, I felt slumpy when I started that book. I'm hoping I get a thriller in this selection, to be honest, because thrillers always do the job when I'm feeling slumpy, when I feel like I don't want to read. Dark romances and thrillers always do the job for me. Kiss of the Basilisk. Well, this is a dark romance fantasy, I want to say. I'm looking up the book on Goodreads. This book is not safe to read at work. You've been warned. I mean, everyone already read this book. I'm left. I'm going to read it and give you my opinion. I cannot wait to read it. Okay. Let's hope for a thriller next. All Your Bloody Lies. This is also a dark romance, and I think there is a vampire. It is a dark romance, and we have a vampire. Oh my god, that cover. One review says, I suggest you listen to this book because the guy that narrated Kai's voice was fire. So in this book, we have vampires, succubus, shifters, and it takes place in a future where regular humans live with all creatures you can imagine, and we live together in like harmony. And the romance, I think, is about a succubus. So she's the succubus and a vampire. a dark paranormal romance. I cannot wait to read it. Also, I've seen a lot of people read this book, and I've seen a lot of companies do special edition of this book. So let's see. Are we going to get the thriller or not? A blue. Okay. Mistress of Bones. Now, I want to read this book, but I am not in the mood for this kind of fantasy right now. I don't know what Cruel is the Light did to me, but I don't feel like I'm in the mood for this. So I'm going to pick another one. I'm not going to read this now. It's the first time I don't read a book that I pick up, but yeah, it's just, I'm not going to force myself because I want to give it a fair shot. Let's see. Blood Moon. Same. I'm not in the mood for a YA fantasy. Let's see. Grimstone? I own Grimstone. Yes, Grimstone by Sophie Lark. Yes, I'm going to read it. Grimstone is another dark romance. So we have 3 dark romance books. But Grimstone is, it takes place in our world. I don't believe it is fantasy by any means. I think we have like a creepy, dark gothic thriller romance. And there is a Halloween theme in it too. Ooh, okay. I'm excited about this one. I know that there is a doctor involved in the story, and like it's like this creepy small town setting. She inherited a mansion from her uncle, and she thinks that it might be haunted. Let's take a look at the reviews. Everything is spooky and eerie until she actually finds out what is haunting her house. Sophie Lark is so sick and twisted, but I fear she ate with this one. Yeah, I already own the paperback of this book, and there are, I think it is the first one in a series, but it's a series of standalones, I believe. Or maybe a duology, because we only have book 2 here, Monarch. If I love Grimstone, I probably read Monarch too. But I'm very happy with this book. It's been on my TBR for a very long time. I have bought that book, I think last year or the year before that. So it is time. It is time to read it. I will get back to you once I finish one of these books. Okay, guys, I finished reading all of the books. All of the books in the entire world. All of the books that got picked. I also read the second book in the Filthy Duet. I couldn't stop after book 1. And I will tell you about it, of course. But let's start with Grimstone. Grimstone, it is a thriller, it's a dark romance, but it also has a lot of thriller, suspense, mystery elements. I love that in this book so much. It is a mix between a possibly haunted mansion and a hot doctor neighbor who has a dark past, and a town filled with secrets and a curious heroine. This is the mix that we have in this book. I loved it so much. It is such a page turner. I ended up giving it 3.5 stars, and I will tell you why. First of all, the synopsis. In this book, we follow Remy, and Remy thinks she's cursed. Her fiance cheated on her, and she got stuck with her annoying brother renovating an old mansion. I mean, that's what she usually do. They renovate houses, and she's really, really good at that. She thinks the mansion is haunted. And now the town people whisper that her neighbor, Dr. Dane Covet, might have his wife. And strange and violent events start happening, and Remy seriously starts to wonder if this mansion is haunted, if some curse is following her, if Dane is hiding a dark secret or not, or is someone messing with them. It is dark, it is lusty, it is haunting, and it is filled with dark secrets, and it truly keeps the suspense cranked to the max. And Remy finds herself getting more and more pulled into Dane's orbit. And the more that happens, the harder it becomes for her to separate what is rumor, what is real, and what is becoming genuinely dangerous. This book leans heavily towards the what is really going on, feeling there was something wrong happening. Is the house haunted? Is someone manipulating events? Or is there really something darker in here? I gave this book 3.5 stars. I really did not see that plot twist coming at the end of the book. I was shocked. I was truly and utterly shocked with that plot twist. Also, I think that Sophie Lark is really good at building tension and like really good at building the dark mystery atmosphere. And I loved how the mystery slowly unfolded in the story. The gothic setting, the unease, the constant sense of suspense kept me turning the pages, and I loved it for that. The romance between Remy and Dane is so much dark and intense. It has this push and pull. Their dynamic works, but it is wrapped in danger and in secrets. So if you like morally gray characters and messy dynamics, this will be right up your alley. With that being said, I felt like sometimes I wanted more depth or more answers sooner, which is why it didn't hit the full 4 stars for me. The atmosphere, as I said, is immaculate. The twist is jaw-dropping, and the mood is very gothic, very unsettling, and very, very addictive. I really, really recommend this book if you like a dark romance with creepy mansions, suspicious neighbors, a small town filled with secrets, and a twist that comes out of nowhere. Highly, highly recommend. This is a real page turner. I really, really enjoyed it. Okay, the next book that I picked up was Kiss of the Basilisk. This is, as the author mentioned in her author's note, this is unlike anything that I have ever read. She mentions it here at the beginning of the book. I will leave you with a sincere advice. Buckle up. The Split and Swallow series is unlike anything you've ever read before, and you may not read anything like it ever again. Yep, I can confirm that. That's totally true. In this book, it is adult, very adult fantasy romance. In this book, we are following 20-year-old Temperance, and she, along with the other, I believe, 13 contestants, are forced to train with a basilisk to learn the art of seduction to win Princess Leo hand in marriage. And Tem gets paired with, each one of them is paired with a basilisk, so not one man, but each one of them gets a basilisk, and Tem gets paired with Caspin. He's the king serpent. And their bond quickly becomes intense and dangerous in a way, and impossible to ignore. And little by little, Tem finds herself torn between her growing connection with Caspin and her feelings for Prince Leo. At the same time, she starts to uncover some very, very dark secrets regarding the royal family, and the story develops from there. I gave this book 3 stars. I did enjoy the book, but I found it too long for the amount of plot that we were getting. It is 530-ish pages, and for it to be that long, the plot wasn't a lot, to be honest, in my opinion. So for me, the biggest issue was the pacing. There was a lot, and I mean a lot of smut in this book. And I found that if that page time went towards building the world building, and moving the plot forward and character development, it would have been much better, in my opinion. Romance-wise, I am definitely Team Leo in this case. Yes, I surprised myself too. I found him more compelling and more charming. I just loved his character so much. But on the other hand, Tem's character, I found her frustrating a lot of times, if I'm being honest. And she just got on my nerves a lot of multiple times, like whiny and yeah, frustrating overall. I didn't hate her, but she annoyed me a lot of times, especially how she handled certain decisions and relationships. That said, the concept of the book is fun. The fantasy elements are intriguing. The royal family secrets are intriguing. It really kept me going. And if you're someone who primarily reads for romantic tension and spice, I think this book will work very well for you. For me personally, I just wanted less smut and more substance. I thought that the story had so much more potential that waited to be delivered. But yeah, maybe, just maybe, I will continue on with the series. I'm not sure yet. Depending, I think, on the reviews or like the early reviews of the second book, maybe. The next book that I finished, or two books that I finished because I completed this duet, The Filthy Duet by M.L. Burns, All Your Bloody Lies and All Your Deadly Truths. They are tongue twisters. I love this duet. This is a 5 stars duet. This is spice. This has a lot of spice, but with an amazing plot and outstanding characters. I love these books so much. If you love female rage and supernatural creatures, demons and shifters and vampires, like urban fantasy, and feral, unhinged female main character, and a lot of obsession and a paranormal romance that will throw morality out of the window, this duet is for you. Look no further. This will absolutely wreck you. As I said, I gave it 5 full stars. I gave 5 stars to the first book and 4 stars to the second book, but as a duet, it is a 5 stars. But it is one of the darkest things, one of the darkest books I read in my entire life. So you have to be aware, read trigger warnings. If you are not familiar with dark romance, this is not for you, or it's not an entry level, at least it's not. It is very dark and very absolutely sick and unhinged. But if you are curious and if you've already read some dark romances, maybe read trigger warnings and see how it goes from there. But definitely not for everyone. Absolutely not. It is graphic, it is disturbing, and it is unapologetically dark. So please check trigger warnings. And in these books, we are following Seraphine Nora, this absolutely stunning succubus right here. And she's driven by one thing: revenge. For 10 years, she's only thought about that. She has been betrayed. She has been buried alive by 5 people who did obscenely, absolutely unspeakable things to her. And she's only thinking about executing her revenge plan. She's hunting them down one by one. Enter Kyrese Monroe. He's a vampire and he's investigating and tracking down the demon behind this series of brutal murders. But what starts as a hunt quickly turns into an obsession, and he's drawn to Seraphine in a way that is dark, consuming, and dangerous, and neither of them is interested in walking away. And what follows is a game of power, control, obsession, and desire, and it was so well done. My first thought when I think about this book, it was feral and unhinged female rage, as I said, and it's so dark. It's definitely not for everyone, and I loved every second of it. If I'm being honest, from the very first page, it had me in a chokehold. The rage, the brutality, the obsession, these are all like turned up to an extreme level, and it does not soften itself to the reader as the story goes on. Seraphine is broken, but she's ruthless and terrifying and fearless in the best way possible. And her thirst for revenge feels so raw and earned. And the dynamic between Seraphine and Kyrese is toxic, obsessive, and completely unbalanced. And that is exactly the point. The romance that they have is not soft, is not sweet, is not comforting. It is possessive, it is dangerous, violent, and morally wrong. And the book leans fully into that. I flew through book one. The audiobook, by the way, with the dual narrators is a chef's kiss, absolutely delicious. And I couldn't wait to finish the series to know how the story unfolds. The writing was so intense. The pacing is so relentless, and like the emotional payoff is so brutal. I loved it so much. With that being said, as a reminder, this is a truly sick, unhinged, dark book. So if psychological manipulation, extreme violence, morally irredeemable characters are not for you, are a hard no for you, you will not love this duet. I'm just giving you a warning because it is very, very dark, extremely. And if you made it this far, subscribe so you don't miss any future videos. Leave me the black heart emoji. Also, please hype the video so it would reach more readers. It will truly help me out a lot. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!